Summer lingers in the air, in the sound, open skies, worn boots. One more night before it's gone. Gulls summer send-off.
The Gulls take game one.
And he's looking for the strikeout to put an exclamation point on this series, and he does.
And for the first time in franchise history, the Sylvan Lake Gulls head to the WCBL championship. There will be a new WCBL champion this season.
That's got a chance.
Or a home
Where
run.
is it going?
Good
is it
night.
not enough? Yes, it does. Marcus Abelhosen with the walk-off homer.
The Sylvan Lake Gulls have got the dog off their back. They are headed to the WCBL championship final with an 8-4 win.
A gorgeous night here in Central Alberta. We'll see two teams duking it out for the best in the West. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you tuning in to Gulls Baseball right here on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. I'm Cale Clark, and always so happy to have you watching from wherever you may be as the Sylvan Lake Gulls welcome the top team in the league and in the West Division in the Okotoks Dawgs. And you take a look at last night's game, and the Okotoks Dawgs got the better half of the Sylvan Lake Gulls, defeating them 12-1 and ending their 4-game winning streak. But the Sylvan Lake Gulls still in the hunt for first place in the West, and it's going to come down all to the final 6 games of the regular season to see how the rest of the standings in the West Division shape out to be. As the Sylvan Lake Gulls, you see them, they are going to be second in the West Division, and you know this is a huge game. They have 2 more meetings against the Okotoks Dawgs, both here at home against Okotoks. As we take a look at your starting pitcher ahead of tonight's matchup, there is Bryson Leach, as they're going to send one of their number 1 pitchers on the mound for a much-needed win and good start here tonight. He's got 7 starts in his name already, 3-2 record, 4.5 ERA, 42 innings of work, 37 strikeouts, and 46 hits given up. Let's take a look at who he's going to face in the Dawgs lineup, and they were absolutely on fire last night. Ricardo Sanchez, Aiden Doherty, and Cal Gates are the 1, 2, 3 batters, and then you have the oh-so-dangerous Nash Kroll last night, driving in 8 runs. And Aiden Krause, of course, going to round out the batting order for the Okotoks Dawgs. Defensively, though, Sylvan Lake's going to have to just be tight and not make any mistakes out there against this top team. Michael Quick, Dom Juicy, Charlie Collins in the outfield. You bring it inside. John Boy Rittenhouse over at third, Jaden Flores at short, Maddox Shaver at second, and of course Coleman Perry in his office at first base with Eli Duncan behind the plate, catching balls and strikes, and it is going to be a huge game for both these teams. Obviously, Sylvan Lake looking for the bounce-back game here tonight, and Okotoks just looking to secure first place in the West, because basically if they win tonight, for the most part, it's pretty much all said but done, and they will clinch first. Now, not with the win. They still have a little bit of work to do, but it'll make it that much harder for Sylvan Lake to catch them in the West Division standings, with being up 4 games over the Gulls, and both teams with just only 6 games left to play in the regular season. We are excited. It is the long weekend getting underway here at Sylvan Lake Ballpark here in central Alberta. And the first pitch up high for a called ball, 90-mile-per-hour fastball from Bryson Leach. Looking for yet another win in his belt this summer for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And so far, when we see good starting on the mound, usually that transpires over to the offensive side of things for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And we saw the offense absolutely hot before last night. Of course, Okotoks had a great job on the mound. They shut down one of the hottest offenses in the league as of late in the Sylvan Lake Gulls. As the Gulls in 4 games put over 50 runs together. That's right, 51 runs in 4 games before last night's game. They were rolling with the bats, and so they'll be looking to get kind of back into that rhythm here tonight. But defensively, got to get the start they need from Bryson Leach, as he is down in the count 3-1, and it's hard when you got good hitters like Ricky Sanchez, Aiden Doherty, Cal Gates. You got Nash Kroll in there as well. And Aiden Krause, he's a guy that can hit. Jordan Keeman, the DH, he's been one of the top hitters for the Dawgs as of late. And, of course, the Dawgs start things up with a base hit right down the middle for Ricky Sanchez to lead things off. And that's what you got to be so careful with. You put anything in the zone, they're probably going to swing at it, and they're probably going to make good contact on it as well, as Aiden Doherty will come to the plate now. Doherty hitting .414 coming into this game. 4 RBIs, no home runs yet. 12 hits in 29 at-bats. This is just the 9th game Doherty will see for the Okotoks Dawgs. Okotoks 36-12 on the season coming into tonight's matchup. Plus 192 scoring differential between them and their teams, the highest in this league. Hence why they're the top team in the Western Canadian Baseball League. They have 475 runs scored with 283 runs against, 58 home runs on the year, and their team ERA is 5.52. They're averaging just over 5 runs a game. Impressive numbers there. An opposite field hit in the right field. Charlie Collins can't get there. It lands fair and into the corner. Collins will finally scoop it up and throw it in, and it is a stand-up double for Aiden Doherty. And just like that, the Dawgs are picking up from where they left off last night. What a great opposite field hit. Charlie Collins had to go a long way, and he just couldn't quite get there. Just missed the tip of his glove as he goes crashing into the foul pole in right field. And so that'll bring up Cal Gates to maybe drive in the first runs of this ball game to try to open things up for Okotoks early on the road. Again, great to have you tuning in to FloCollege right here. Brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. Cale Clark here with you in the broadcast booth. Great to have you watching from wherever you may be, whether that's Okotoks, whether that's here in Sylvan Lake, whether that's across Canada or in the U.S., or even maybe down under in Australia. Great to have you watching. Cal Gates gets started with a strike, 0-1. And a great pitch there by Bryson Leach has Gates going around on the check swing. Kind of fooled him a little bit on that one. And now, for the first time, Leach is up in the count and can work with it a little bit. Runners in scoring position. Of course, trying to get Gates to chase away at that one, up high and away. And again, that up high for ball 2. Let's take a look at our umpires for tonight. There is the third base umpire, Brad Johnson. Over at first, we got Rob Allen. He's the crew chief. And Jeff Chipley behind home plate. In fact, actually, now that I look at it, it looks like Rob Allen's over at third. And Chipley behind the plate. So Johnson is actually the first base umpire. So good at bat here for Cal Gates as he stays alive, fouling that back to the screen. Already Okotoks with 2 hits to lead things off in this game. Runners at third and second, wasting no time. 0 outs here in the top half of the first inning. Gulls already kind of in a little bit of defense mode as Leach looks off Ricky Sanchez at third and makes the play for out number 1 over at first. Great play and heads up there by the pitcher, and Bryson Leach has got to keep an eye on Ricardo Sanchez as, of course, he wants to come home, but a great eye there by Bryson Leach to keep him close and just make sure he gets out number 1 with Cal Gates over at first. So that'll bring up a very heavy hitter in Jordan Keeveman, and he's one of the hottest players for this Okotoks Dawgs team as of late. In his last 3 games, he's gone 5 for 10, 6 RBIs, 5 runs, 1 triple, and 2 doubles. He is hitting the ball hard and far. And of course, he leads this team tied with Nash Kroll now for home runs at 9 homers, and tied with Nash Kroll in RBIs at 43 with a chance to drive in some more runs. A dangerous, dangerous hitter that Sylvan Lake's got to face early on in this game with bases pretty full. And he pops this straight into the outfield. Left center field is where it will go. Dom Juicy's got an eye on it, and he'll throw it in quickly. He's got an arm. Perry trying to cut it off, but the run will come into score. So Keeman gets another RBI on the season, a sacrifice fly out to open the scoring here for the Okotoks Dawgs. And we know Juicy's got an arm, but unfortunately that was deep in the hole enough that he couldn't get the throw in quicker. So the Dawgs go up 1-0, and they got a runner still in scoring position, and Aiden Doherty out at second. So that'll bring up Eric Matchy. And he takes that first pitch down low for a ball. Sylvan Lake now with 2 down. Just trying to get out of this inning, just surrendering the 1 run for the Dawgs. And overall, last night's game, the 12-1 victory for the Okotoks Dawgs, was pretty close until about the 5th inning, and then things kind of blew open from there, and the Dawgs just kept adding runs as the game went on to run away with it. Sylvan Lake, of course, then strategically started putting in different guys late in the game just to kind of give their starters a rest to be ready for today. And a well-hit ball going all the way back deep center field, and it is caught. Oh my, what a great grab at center field at the track over the shoulder. Dom Juicy just makes an incredible play to end this inning. Look at this catch. Wow. Doesn't get any better than that. Gulls coming to bat in the bottom of the first.
Summer lingers in the air, in the sound, open skies, worn boots, one more night before it's gone. Gulls summer send-off.
Well, it was an absolute night to remember for the pitching in the Okotoks Dawgs last night as Logan Rumberg did his job. So now they're going to turn to their number 1 pitcher in the Okotoks Dawgs. This is Brody Forno. He's got 8 starts already. He's a 6-0 record, 2.21 ERA, just over 40 innings of work, 30 hits given up, 50 strikeouts. This kid is something to watch on the mound, but this is who he's going to have to face in the Gulls' offensive lineup. Jaden Flores, Michael Quick, and Elijah Hamill, the 1-2-3 hitters, and then John Boy Rittenhouse, Charlie Collins, and Coleman Perry. Those top 6 batters in that order, all dangerous for Sylvan Lake. Let's take a look at the defensive side for Okotoks. Aiden Doherty, Aiden Krause, and Cal Gates all in the outfield. Eric Matchey, Ricardo Sanchez, Emmett Stacher, Nash Kroll, and Jaden Lusk will be the infielders for the Okotoks Dawgs. And yes, Brodie Forno, of course, a guy to have to watch for anytime he's on the mound, as he is he's the top guy that they have in the bullpen right now for Okotoks. And you know what? He's also one of those guys that is kind of among the top leaders in pitching as far as the league is concerned as well. He's in that running right now, right behind Braden Stewart for strikeout counts as well. So Sylvan Lake only got the 1 run last night, and that was Michael Quick's solo homer, and they're going to have their work cut out with them with Brodie Forno. And where balls go to die, Ricky Sanchez first pitch swinging, makes a routine ground play over to first. And a clean scoop there, and it just, looks like he is right on the money where he normally is. So that'll bring up the guy that had the best night out of everybody in the offense last night for Sylvan Lake, Michael Quick, who had gone 1 for 2 and a solo homer that gave them their only run last night. And he has been one of the top players for Sylvan Lake to watch for as of late in the last 3 games. He's gone 5 for 11, 3 RBIs, 1 home run, 3 runs. He's reached base 7 times in 13 plate appearances. And then he also had, when he was taking on the Regina Red Sox last, he was on a streak. He had 11 plate appearances where he got on base in a row. So this is a guy that's hard to get out. 1-1. And he takes a good cut at that one. 90-mile-per-hour fastball beating him on that. So 1-2. And of course, Dawgs looking to get a great start from Brodie Forno on the road. Get that much closer to securing first place in the West Division. And Quick hits it on the ground, kind of deep in the hole. Emmett Stacher will pick it up and throw it over in time. Wow, there's really not a lot of room where you can hit where the Dawgs aren't going to scoop it up and make you pay for it. As Michael Quick hit that kind of softly, but Emmett Stacher getting there in time and then making a throw across the body over to Nash Kroll. So the 6-3 play and now the 4-3 play. Putouts. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Elijah Hamill. This guy can hit. Home run leader for the Sylvan Lake Gulls at 9. He's among the top batting averages, and he just may have done it again. Well hit ball, deep right field, and it's out of here. You got to always be aware when Elijah Hamill steps up to the plate. First pitch swinging, and he drills this over the right field wall to tie this ball game. Hamill loves to send bombs. Wow, that left in a hurry. You like that first pitch, and he just made Forno pay for it. So that'll bring up John Boy Rittenhouse now. As it again, the Sylvan Lake Gulls, we talk about it every broadcast. They seem to go 2 outs, and then they get the bats going. They score runs when there's 2 outs on them. A great solo homer for Elijah Hamill to tie this ball game. That's a response you needed from the Sylvan Lake Gulls offense. And here's another guy that knows how to drive in runs and can hit the long ball. John Boy Rittenhouse with 47 RBIs on the summer. And he goes around on that swing as he tried to check it, but Jeff Chipley calls him going around on it, so a strikeout for Brodie Forno. His first of the game, but not before Elijah Hamill sends the long bomb over the right field wall to tie this ball game. We'll be back with the second when we come back.
For more than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest harvest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Have you ever wondered if there's one thing that connects people from across our province? Something that connects the coffee shop to the spray park, or the brewery to the rodeo, the campground to the sports field. It's pretty amazing when you think about how it's all connected, because it truly is. And it's all we think about, so you don't have to.
1-1 game in this tight affair between the Dawgs and the Gulls early on, heading into the second inning. Let's take a look at the standings. Yes, as we talked about, the Gulls 4 games back from Okotoks for that first place spot, so this game has a lot riding on it. But how about the Lethbridge Bulls? They got a win over Energy City already today in a doubleheader. So Energy City, of course, holding on to that 4th place spot over Brooks and Fort Mac. And yes, games just mean so much more the longer in the season we go. And of course, the doubleheader has started for Lethbridge and Energy City, and the Cactus Rats already up 1-0 over the Bulls in the second half of that doubleheader. And of course, Energy City is going to have a lot of baseball in the next short few days, as they got some doubleheaders to make up, some games to make up for, including some that are going to be against this Okotoks Dawgs team. That's right. Tomorrow they, I believe, are planning for a doubleheader. I'm not 100% sure. I was talking to the Okotoks Dawgs coaching staff, and that is what they were thinking would be taking place. So, yeah, we will we'll keep our eyes on things as it goes. But here is the guy that did a lot of damage last night. Nash Kroll with his family in attendance from the island on the East Coast. He had a lot of family watching in and at the game, and he delivered a performance. 8 RBIs, went 3 for 4 at the plate. It was something to see from this kid. 3 runs scored, and he strikes out in his first at-bat from Bryson Leach. So talk about settling and cooling down, a hot hitter coming off a wild night last night. So that'll bring up the catcher, Jaden Lusk, who went 2 for 4 last night, and an RBI and a run came in to score. And Nash Kroll, of course, from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. And that's where his family was in. I asked him before this game, I said, hey, do you got any family that made the trip up to Sylvan Lake? And he said, no, but they'll be watching on TV. So this ball popped up into left field, and a good catch there by Michael Quick to quickly retire 2 Okotoks Dawgs players in the second inning. And you could kind of see there's a little bit of a guitar play in there for Michael Quick as he celebrates that out. But you could tell a little bit on that play. The wind might have had a little bit of factor, started to kind of move the ball in the air, and he had to adjust a little bit. And this will bring up the second baseman, Emmett Stature, with 2 down. Leach starts him with a fastball inside, get him swinging. 0-1. That up high, and a check swing by Stature. Thought about it. Decides to hold on. I always love when Okotoks is in town, too, because you get some of the Dawgs fans making the drive up a Highway 2 to take in a ball game. I mean, they got some dedicated fans. And every time I look towards the Okotoks dugout, there's always the same kind of crew sitting by the dugout. One lady that likes to sit right by the dugout with a red hat and loves watching the boys on the road as well. Leach now down in the count, 3-1, having a tough time to put out number 3 here. Stature at the plate. He's gotten behind in the count a number of times so far early on in this game. But he comes back inside and doesn't faze him by any means. Now brings the count to full. Good test for both of these teams ahead of the postseason. What could be a preview of what's to come in the postseason as this is drilled right into the gap for a base hit by Stature to keep this inning alive. We see that time and time again by good teams. You know, the 2-out rallies seem to be what these teams like to do, and both Sylvan Lake Gulls and Okotoks know how to keep an inning alive. So that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Aiden Kraus, to round out things. Kraus went 1 for 4 last night and had an RBI. And he swings around on that one. 0-1. This is definitely going to be one of those nights and days where it's going to be a battle of the bullpens, I feel. So Okotoks, they send their vet in Brody Forno, who they will know for sure they'll probably be able to get a lot of innings out of. And then they'll probably try to take him into this game as long as possible, and then they'll open up the revolving bullpen door and send some more arms in. 1-1 the count to Kraus, and a throw down to first just to keep Stature in check, and Perry with a couple tags on his back as he was moving around on the first base. And there's going, runner on the move, and they got him. Great throw there by Eli Duncan, and an incredible tag out by Jaden Flores. Catches Emmett Stature on the run. Wow, what a play.
The live sports experience is changing.
Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
We took a look at the West Division standings, but really what's interesting this season has always been looking to the East. And you take a look at this leadership board and East standings, I should say, in Moose Jaw Miller Express and Saskatoon, obviously clinched in the top 2 places in that East Division. But how about Regina, Medicine Hat, Weyburn, and Swift Current? All up in the air still. And of course, Saskatoon is taking on Swift Current right now, and the 57s are up 2-1 over the Berries in the bottom of the first. And then there's a doubleheader between Weyburn and Regina today, and the Beavers are up 9-6 over the Red Sox. So looking to catch the Red Sox even a little bit to kind of spoil their plans for postseason baseball as they look to go back-to-back WCBL champions this season. So yeah, lots to look at here in the East Division standings. And I was talking to the Okotoks Dawgs coaching staff ahead of today's game, and I was telling them, I'm like, you know what? I think the playoffs are going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight because you really don't know what's going to come down the line when it comes to, you know, really either the West or the East, but especially in the East Division. You know, they're all playing playoff baseball pretty much right now. Their mindsets are in for playoff ball. So they're going to be ready to go when the playoffs and postseason do get underway. As that ball lands just behind the Dawgs dugout on top. Charlie Collins fouls the first pitch off that he sees in the bottom half of the second inning. But yeah, Okotoks, and I was talking to, I believe it was Rob that I was talking to, David Robb, and he was saying that yeah, like they split, you know, they split a couple series against some East teams. They swept the Berries, and this is hit into left center field for Charlie Collins. to lead things off here in the bottom half of the second inning. He was our EG Auctions Player of the Game just a few games ago, as he was hitting the ball hard and well against Regina. So a good leadoff base hit there for Charlie Collins, the man from down under. And that will bring up Coleman Perry. And that pitch coming in a little bit off speed, but catches the corner. The fans behind the home plate did not like it. On Jeff Chipley. Oh, 0-1 to Perry. And he sends opposite field, foul territory. Both Coleman Perry and Charlie Collins, in the last time they were here at home, had themselves a night. Perry went 2 for 3, home run, 2 RBIs, 3 runs, a double in there as well. He was hitting the ball far, barrel on ball, and it was going a distance. And that pitch is going a distance away from the catcher and Jaden Lusk, as now Charlie Collins gets into scoring position, and I would think that's a wild pitch. I'm going to credit that a wild pitch to Brody Forno, as that wasn't even close. That was a hard stop there for Jaden Lusk. So Perry now with the runner in scoring position. And Charlie Collins obviously was our player of the game. Coleman Perry and him were very close to, tying for that EG Auctions Player of the Game. But Charlie Collins went 3 for 4 that night, 2 RBIs, and he had a double himself. And Coleman Perry strikes out. So Forno, after throwing a ball way outside, he comes in and settles in with an off speed that has Perry swinging up and over it. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, just over top of that ball. Missing with that ball dropping. Great pitch by Brody Forno. So Eli Duncan now steps in. And Duncan hitting .330 on the season, 17 RBIs and 3 homers. That goes into the turf, so Forno with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball down low. Good stop there by Jaden Lusk on that heater. Duncan hits this into left field. That'll sail over Matchy's head, and he's coming home. Here's Charlie Collins for the Gulls' first lead of the ball game. The Gulls make that wild pitch pay against the Okotoks Dawgs, and Eli Duncan with another great RBI single to give the Gulls their first lead. And that'll bring up the oh-so-dangerous Maddox Shaver. Here's a guy that's also been playing very solid for the Gulls as of late. He's gone 3 for 10 in his last 3 games, 3 RBIs and 4 runs. And he's made some incredible plays and catches over at second as well. The double plays, the diving catches, you name it. Maddox Shaver had it, delivering. Now second in home run leading for this ball club, as Elijah Hamill just broke that tie moments ago earlier on in this ball game. Ball hit softly on the ground, and they make the throw over to first in time for out number 2. And a good heads-up play there by Eli Duncan. Kind of timed it out on the base running here as it hits towards him, and you could tell he kind of just lets it go through his legs to maybe try and throw off Emmett's stature. But these guys, they don't get fooled or rattled easily. So 2 down, runner in scoring position. That'll bring up the center fielder, Dom Giusti, to round out the batting order. And both the Dogs and Gulls look very similar with the offensive power that we've been seeing coming to the plate. Both teams have gone through the order completely now. Seeing the number 9 hitter in the second inning. Okotoks 4-2 on the season series heading into tonight's matchup. And 2 games left to be played, both, including this one, of course, both going to be here at Gulls Field. Sylvan Lake will hit the road this weekend down to Lethbridge for a huge pair of games against the Bulls and then return back home for a date with the Dawgs at 4:05 on Monday. Season already close to wrapping up. Crazy to think that we're already here in this stage of the summer. It flew by. But we have been so happy to have you fans watching in from wherever you may be, joining us live on FloCollege, tuning every single game in as the season has gone on. Forno finally finds the zone as Juicy was taken all the way. Tom Juicy looking to keep the inning alive. The 2-out rally with a runner in scoring position. That's Eli Duncan coming into the middle of your screen. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And it just catches that outside corner. Full count to Juicy. Probably a fastball coming here at Juicy. Nope, the off speed that misses. Trying to get him to chase after it. He'll take the walk. Great at bat for Dom Juicy. Gets a handshake from Andrew Parks, the assistant coach and first base coach today for Sylvan Lake. He's fit in quite well with this new club this summer. And now Jaden Flores back to the top of the batting order we go. Grounded out to Ricky Sanchez. His last at bat. Flores coming into this game hitting .283. He's got 10 RBIs, 1 homer, 1 triple, 4 doubles, and 13 hits with 14 runs that he has come around to score on. Flores sends it down the line, but just foul. That would have done some damage. That would have probably scored 2 runs if that stayed fair. That was close. Much better start for the Sylvan Lake Gulls here tonight than they had last night. They want to play good in front of this home crowd, and you know what? They have all season long. They have come to show up and perform for the home faithful here in Sylvan Lake. Big cut there by Flores up high. Good pitch there by Brody Forno. Evens the count, 2-2. It's up high. He wanted it. Now another full count. So Forno starting to maybe show a little bit of signs of, I don't know, getting into some interesting situations early on in this ball game with 2 outs. Have a tough time getting that final out right now. Of course, Gulls making it hard on him. The 2-out rally has always been so dangerous with Sylvan Lake this season. See if Flores could keep it going here with a full count, 2 down. it's a walk. Wow. Bases loaded now. For the home run hitter in last night's game, Michael Quick, and that is definitely going to prompt a meeting on the mound as Joe Sargent comes out to have a chat with his pitcher. Okotoks just needing to get out of this inning. Now bases loaded, Gulls trying to do some damage here. Great crowd here on this Friday night start to a long weekend. You take a look at that berm and it is full. People getting some food. I have some friends actually on that berm right now. Some people from Toronto, Ontario coming in to watch their first ever ball game. A couple doctors in the house from Ontario. And they're taking in the Gulls game. They were excited. It's been on their calendar for about a month now. And they are taking it all in here tonight in a good matchup between the Dawgs and the Gulls. Michael Quick with bases loaded situation. Does not get any better than this for number 44. Do some damage, add to their lead. He would love nothing more. Takes a cut at that, but the fastball just getting there a little quick. He's slow on the swing. I think he maybe thought an off speed was coming his way. He's behind on that one. 1-1. He had that solo homer last night. Does he still have more in his bat here tonight? And that time he had it timed up a little bit better, but still missed the pitch. Good count, good pitch there by Forno. 1-2 on Michael Quick. Quick has now seen 2 fastballs. See what Forno has for him now, if he keeps the fastballs going or if he comes back with an off speed. And he comes in with the off speed that misses up high. That is a tough one. 15 miles per hour difference from his fastball to his movement. Quick looking to keep the inning alive. Bases loaded. Gulls up by 1. 2-2 pitch. Quick hits it, but it's dropped. At second, Emmett Stature couldn't come away with it. They're coming home as Justy will get tagged out, but a run does come in to score, and that was Eli Duncan. So the Gulls add 2 runs in the bottom half of the second inning. A hard hit ball by Michael Quick does drive in a run, but a great stab at it by Emmett Stature. And of course, the Gulls maybe getting a little bit aggressive on the base running, getting caught at home. We'll be back with the top of the third when we come back.
More than 40 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
For over a century, we've been more than just lawyers. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your strongest advocates. With 15 locations across the prairies, we're everywhere you are. Stringham, your local lawyers.
Yo, Dustin, you going?
Yes.
Can I join you guys? All right, let's go.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
Well, there's some people enjoying the game. In fact, those are my friends from Ontario. My brother Jordan there with the beer in his hand, now looking towards our way. And then the girls that are beside him are doctors from Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. They made the long flight in, and this is one of the first things they wanted to do when they got to Alberta, is come to a Sylvan Lake Gulls game. Great to see them all taking this one in, having a good time. And of course, my buddy Aaron in the Jays hat there as well, him and his wife Katrina taking this one in. It is a crew here at the ballpark. Great to have them all here watching this one between the Dawgs and the Gulls. 3-1. Sylvan Lake leads it, and a leadoff base hit there by, of course, Aiden Kraus to now try to respond for the Okotoks Dawgs. A great base hit to lead things off. So the Dawgs, you know they're going to have some response. You know they're not going into the night quietly. And a great leadoff hit for Aiden Kraus. Of course, that inning could have got a lot uglier for Okotoks. Sylvan Lake might have been a little greedy early on in this game, trying to force an extra run with the bases loaded situation. They got the one in, and then Dom Juicy from second tried to go all the way around to score. And I guess he tripped a little bit up at third, and that might have been what caused the delayed run. And now another throw to second with the runner on, trying to go for the steal, and the ball comes right out of the glove of Maddox Shaver. Otherwise, he might have had the tag on there, because it looked like Kraus might have overslid the bag too on top of this. Look at this. Tags him, and then, yeah, his foot did end up coming off. But luckily for him, the ball got away from Maddox Shaver, the second baseman. So stolen base, and that's not what Okotoks is afraid of doing. They are definitely that kind of baseball team. They will utilize their runners on as much as possible. They will advance the runner. Two and one the count to Ricardo Sanchez, who had a base hit back in the first inning, led things off, and he's a dangerous hitter for this team. And now he calls it time. And that could be timely. He's also knows how to work the game a little bit. He waits for Bryson Leach to look back, wind up, and then he calls for a time just to kind of maybe throw the pitcher off a little bit. It's a veteran move, and a runner on again. A hit and run is on the go here, but this is popped out to right field. Charlie Collins making the catch. Runner had to come back and tag up, and now he's going to go for third. And Aiden Kraus had quite a bunch of running on that play. It was a hit and run, then he had to come back to second, tag up, and then he still went to third, as that was hit deep in the hole. Good base running there by Kraus. Good catch by Charlie Collins in right field, though, and good throw in, but Kraus is fast. And now he is over at third, and he's trying to gather his sails a little bit as he's lost the wind a little bit with all that running back and forth. And Aiden Doherty hits this on the ground. Flores will scoop it up and throw it over to first in time for out number two. But the sacrifice ground out scores Kraus from some incredible base running. That's what Okotoks does best. They get on and they know how to manufacture runners. So you take a look at it. And Flores, I think, thought about it to go home, but he realized, no, let's just take the out where we can get it. And a great base running display there by Aiden Kraus. So Calgate's back at the plate, 2 away. Gulls up 3-2. And that's fouled off into foul territory, right beside the Gulls bullpen. Stay tuned, folks. We'll have a special guest joining us here in the fourth inning in the Gulls' Nest. So we will have lots to talk about with what's to come next year for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Gates takes that one. Fastball down the middle, 1-2. Gates just fights that one off the end of the bat to stay alive. Cal Gates also one of those guys to watch for as of late for Okotoks. He's gone 6 for 12 in his last 3, and he's come around to score 4 times. And it's a strikeout for Bryson Leach to get out of this inning. The Sylvan Lake Gulls do surrender the 1 run on 1 hit. That was Aiden Gross that with some incredible base running to come and bring themselves back to within 1, but the Sylvan Lake Gulls still lead 3-2 when we come back in the bottom of the 3rd.
Hey baseball fans, make sure to stay up to date with your favorite teams across the league by subscribing to the WCBL YouTube channel right now. We have tons of free coverage for you over there, including daily highlights, full archive game broadcasts, daily game day previews, plus the WCBL report with myself and Joe McFarland every Wednesday. It's all in one spot, the WCBL YouTube channel. Subscribe today.
Elijah Hamill going to lead things off for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and my goodness, did he do damage in the first inning. That is what tied this ball game. A solo homer over the right field wall. Fornell's going to obviously remember that quite well, and he's going to be very careful, I'm sure, at how he approaches Hamill in the batter's box right here, right now. First pitch in for a ball. Second one goes in, and Hamill pops it up. Foul territory, catchable, and this should be it. And it will be as Hamill gets sat down there by a foul ball by Eric Matchey. And that's got to feel good for the Dawgs to retire such a heavy hitter. Routine play there by Eric Matchey. Good catch. The bleach blonde hair. And now it'll be John Boy Rittenhouse at the plate, who struck out his last at bat in the first inning. And Forno with the right-handed arm. He's got that off speed that likes to kind of slide away from John Boy Rittenhouse and any right-handed pitchers, or right-handed hitters, sorry. And that one just catching outside. John Boy not sure about it. Looked like with the way that ball was swinging, it could have been close to a ball. And then, of course, you got the fast ball that comes in and trying to paint that outside corner. So tough pitches to really see from Brody Forno. That's why he's such a good pitcher in this league. He really likes to use that off speed and kind of work in his pitches between an off speed fastball. 3-1. Ball swung on, pop fly. It's going quite a ways away, right center field. And it will be caught by Aiden Kraus. John Boyd just cutting under that a little too much. Otherwise, that would have been gone in a hurry. For how much he popped this in the air, it still traveled a long ways. Kraus just a few steps away from the warning track when he made that catch. So that'll bring up the man from Australia who has a base hit already in this ball game, Charlie Collins. Came around to score the second and leading run for the Gulls. Collins swings over top of this. Ricardo Sanchez will field it and trip over his own guy, but the throw does work, and it gets there for out number 3. A 3-up, 3-down inning. Huge inning for the Okotoks Dawgs to put up a goose egg for the Sylvan Lake Gulls in this inning. They'll come back to the bats, down 1 in the 4th when we come back. It's been a hard evening to be a pitcher, but Bryson Leach has definitely stood up to the task. Just giving up 2 runs on 4 hits. Of course, Okotoks is such a hot-hitting team in this league, but so far he's been giving his team a great chance in this one to come away with the victory, and we are only in the 4th inning, but it is a close one. 3-2, Gulls lead at top of 4, and this is Jordan Keeveman, who flew out to center field his last at-bat. However, it did drive in a run. It was a sacrifice flyout. One and 1 the count. Leach looks to the sky after that pitch. Not happy, I think, where he placed it. I think he wanted to be a little closer than that. An easier take for Jordan Keeveman, the DH, to take that one. This one he fouls back. Even count, 2-2. He's got the hint of yellow on him. He's got the yellow guard, and around the ankle is yellow as well. Wondering if yellow's his favorite color. Must be. And the yellow slider's mitt as well. Must be a color thing for him as he hits this on the ground. Flores will scoop it up, make the throw a little high, but Coleman stretches out for it for out number 1. Good play there. You can kind of see Flores. He kind of bobbled it a little bit, and then he threw it really hard and high on Coleman Perry, but he's got the long reach. Good out for Sylvan Lake Gulls. That'll bring up Eric Matchey. Float to center field in his last at-bat. Good pitch there by Leach. Off speed. Comes and catches that outside corner. Of course, Jeff Chipley giving a little bit of an explanation to Matchey there. And says that caught, eh? Matchey on the ground in the hole. Gets past John Boy Rittenhouse at third. Tries to make a great stab at it, but that's a hard hit ball. Turns on it and just finds the hole below the glove of John Boy. So that'll bring up the oh-so-dangerous Nash Kroll. Struck out his last at-bat, however.
Number 44, Nash Kroll.
Dawgs putting some hitting together here again tonight. 5 hits on the night. Kroll has sent this high in the air. Right center field. And Dom Giusti makes the catch. That ball just kind of gets hung up in the air, and it keeps sailing more and more closer to right field. And I think Dom Juicy having a chat with Charlie Collins, who was sitting there waiting for it. And you could tell right off the hit there by Nash Kroll, he knew that was going to be playable for the Gulls defense. So 2 away now. Good defensive effort and work by Sylvan Lake. First pitch in there for a called strike. Lusk sends a looper into left field that will land for a base hit. Off the end of the bat. In fact, it was more of, I guess, a little bit of a line drive than anything. Regardless of it works for the Dawgs, and this inning stays alive. Again, the 2-out rally. Talk about it all the time. Seems to be a thing that these teams like to do. So that'll bring up Emmett Stature. Base hit back in the second before he was thrown out to end the inning, trying to steal a base. Runners at first and second. Dawgs looking to tie it. Good starting pitch there by Leach. Quickly works up in the count. And again, another great pitch. Oh, wow. He did not go around on it. I thought he did. Even Leach looks back, thinking, really? Rob Allen says no. Let's take a look at it here. We'll have a good look here. Oh, yeah, he goes around big time. The Dawgs get away with one there on Emmett Stature. No wonder Bryson Leach had the reaction he did. And of course, Rob Allen's more closer to second base, so he doesn't really have a great angle on seeing where that check swing comes around to. But definitely one that the Dawgs get away with on that one. 2-1. Now 3-1, when it could have been easily a 1-2 count. Now Leach has to find a way to work back into this game, back into this at-bat. And it's a walk to load the bases for the Dawgs. Now this is where you settle in as the pitcher. You just got to let that go and can't let it rattle you. So that'll bring up Aiden Krause, who had that base hit. And we're going to get a little meeting on the mound here from Matt Hape, and everybody comes in to get on the same page here with 2 outs, very similarly to what we saw for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who had bases loaded situation back in the second inning. So Jeff Chipley's going to come out here and break up the meeting. It's Matt Hape probably trying to get a little bit of an explanation from Chipley on that check swing, I'm sure. But yes, this is where you got to now dial it in with 2 away, bases loaded, now a base hit lands, and the Dawgs not only maybe tie this game, but they maybe even go back into the lead here, as they would love to regain the lead in a great situation like this. And Leach starts Krause out with a ball, 1-0. Well, we'll have my guest up here, I think, shortly. I'm not sure if he may have forgotten. We have that sometimes where our guests, they're busy guys. They got a lot going on in their night. They got lots to deal with, especially when a crowd this full. And this ball hit softly on the ground. Flores trying to make the play, but not in time. That will drive in a run, as that ball was hit kind of right up the middle. A tough play for the Gulls to make, and fast base running. by the Dawgs have just tied this ball game. Kind of deep in the hole, and of course, there was no play other than the one over at first. Just a well-hit ball by Kraus. An infield hit. RBI. So bases still remain loaded here for Ricardo Sanchez, a dangerous hitter. Oh and 1. Ball hit on the ground, and this will do it. John Boy Rittenhouse tags his own base for the force out at third, and this game is tied from the Okotoks Dawgs. They've put a run in the first, a run in the third, run in the fourth. It is 3-3 heading into the bottom half of this inning. We'll be back. Well, this is the closest hot dog eating contest we've had between Reese Sherman and, of course, the rookie. Cohen Miller giving him a run for his money. Look at how this ends. They're both in. Now Miller's just like, I just need to get this down. And it's just literally a millisecond away from beating Reese Sherman. Reese Sherman has one of the fastest eating guys I've ever seen. But good for Cohen Miller to give him a little bit of a run for his money. That is definitely the closest competitor we have seen give Reese Sherman a run for his money. Cohen Miller, that close, but not close enough. Speaking of close, this game is close. It is a tie ball game heading the fourth, or bottom of the fourth inning, I should say. 3-3 between the Dawgs and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. You're watching Gulls Baseball on FloCollege, brought to you by Visit Sylvan Lake. I'm Cale Clark. Great to have you watching in. Coleman Perry will lead things off here for Sylvan Lake. He struck out in his last at-bat in the second inning. And that goes off the bat. So it's going to be a foul ball on Coleman Perry. And that's kind of one of those lucky situations for the Okotoks Dawgs, as it was coming inside on him, and he tried to pull back, but it just tips off that that bat, ends up being foul for a strike. And then he swings around on that one, fading away from him. 0-2. The Dawgs with 7 hits to the Sylvan Lake Gulls 4. And 49 pitches so far for Brody Forno here on the day, and that just missing outside. 1-2. And I'm going to get my light on in here if I can find where that light switch is, as we'll be coming up to the broadcast booth at the Gulls Nest in just a matter of time with our guest. 1-2 to Coleman Perry. And that's outside. 2-2 now to Perry. Even count. Perry hits this hard, but right to Ricardo Sanchez, who makes the grab for out number 1. Well, let's bring you into the Gulls Nest here at Gulls Field. Cale Clark with our president and COO of the Sylvan Lake Gulls Baseball Club, Akil Samuel. Akil, thanks for taking the time to come in and
thanks for
chat
having me
with
again,
us.
Kale. This
Absolutely.
is great.
I'm glad you always want to come up and chat with us, always to keep me company, and so I don't have to ramble on by myself the whole time. But
you did a good job of that.
Great to see you, and great to have you in on a very busy night here at the ballpark.
Great night at the ballpark. I think we'll push 1,800 tonight, which
wow.
will be a good one for us.
That's good for Sylvan Lake, absolutely, especially on a hot night where people could be out on the lake,
Yep.
but you know what? You're still drawing in crowds like this. Incredible.
Friday night, Okotoks is in town. The weather's good. There's no smoke. There's no rain. It's the community thing to do, and I think we got a lot of new people in the park today too.
Eli Duncan sends this in the air to center field, and it should be a pretty routine play for Aiden Krause, and it will be for out number 2. Well, we brought you up here for a reason, not just because, handsome guy like you needs to be on TV every now and then, but Akil, some big news was announced here in Saskatoon at the All-Star break, and Sylvan Lake now going to be the next host to town.
Yeah, 2027 we get the WCBL All-Star game, so very, very excited about that. Excited to be able to show off what we have out here. We got some excitement building.
From your trip to Saskatoon in the All-Star break.
I think the amount of work that you got to do to pull something like that off, that was the feedback from those guys, in the middle of the season. But I think we got a pretty solid plan.
This is just going to land foul as Maddox Shaver will have to come back. And that's 0-2 to Shaver.
I think we got a pretty solid plan, and I think and our fans know when we do things like this, we want to do it right. So, we got some pretty cool things planned. I'd love to chat with you about it. But Saskatoon did an excellent job. It's a big undertaking, and they went to a 2-day event this year, which we're going to do as well. So that was a good takeaway, and just see how they manage that. So it's going to be exciting.
Now, they're being very careful in not calling it All-Star Weekend. It's because it's not going to be over a weekend. It's going to be on a weeknights.
We're going to try it on a 2-day event on Monday. First day will be Monday, July 12th, and then the All-Star game will be on Tuesday, July 13th. So a couple reasons for that. With our fan base in July, we're going to have no problem packing this place. I don't think we've got a pretty engaged group. So they're going to be able to come to one day, the first day, the second day, or have a package for both. And we've got some pretty cool things planned.
I love it. It's an even count to Maddox Shaver here with 2 down in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Tie game between the Dawgs and the Sylvan Lake Gulls, 3-3. Dawgs out hitting the Gulls 7-4. Here comes the pitch, and it's outside to bring the count full. Now, they did release something that is going to be unique and different for Sylvan Lake, and one thing that maybe we can talk about is that you're doing the teams differently. You're not separating it up by division. You're separating it up by nationality.
So we're going to go with a Canadian and international team against an American team. So we'll get equal representation from all the teams for sure, but they're going to send us, half Canadian / international and half American guys. And it's one of the cool things that we want to try. We think it's going to be fun.
I love that. That's such a unique idea. Now, I know obviously you're in the planning stages, and you're probably going to bring some different twists and different feels for Sylvan Lake, but maybe those fans watching on, is there a ticket date that they can start to look at attending?
Yeah, we've got, we're going to start with our season ticket holders in September. They're going to have first crack at their seats for that as we put this together. So on the Monday, we're going to start, we're thinking 5:30, 6 o'clock start with a celebrity slow pitch game. Do that for a couple hours, and then we're going to go guest speaker, and we're going to hold that one as a surprise for a little bit, but do a high-name baseball guest speaker somewhere on the infield, thinking home plate, in front of 2,000 fans would be kind of fun. And then on the Monday, we'll lead into the home run contest.
I love it.
So the home run contest has been a big success for the WCBL the last few years, and we know we can do a good job with it out here.
Dom Juicy 1-1 here with 2 down, 3-3 game between the Dawgs and the Gulls. Runner over at first, Maddox Shaver with the walk. Juicy trying to keep this 2-out rally alive and regain the Gulls lead. And he takes that just in outside corner for a called strike, 1-2. Now, with the celebrity game, I got to ask you, does that mean that yourself and maybe Mr. Graham Schetzel coming out of retirement for it?
No, we'll go get some real celebrities, I think.
Oh.
Somebody that could maybe draw.
I would pay to
draw,
see you guys.
Yeah, someone that could draw a crowd and a ticket price.
Hey, I would pay to see you guys back in action.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That would be
sure.
That'd be fun to watch you guys suit up yet again for a game.
Yeah, no, as you know, there's some pretty big name hockey, music, and baseball guys
for sure
in Central Alberta. So we're going to start that process here right away, and yeah, we're super excited about this. I think the league's happy with the Monday-Tuesday layout. It gives the guys a true break, as they play on the Sunday afternoon game and get to Sylvan Lake and give them a couple days off is going to be fun.
Well, and I guess, too, for, the leagues, as far as the league is concerned, they get a full weekend of still getting games in at the respectful parks. So at least this way it allows other teams to still get the full weekend revenue from their games. And then, of course, All-Star can be on a Monday, Tuesday. That you already know is going to probably be a pretty big revenue generator for the town of Sylvan Lake.
We're a gate-driven league, right? So the governors and the owners are really happy that they don't have to give up a Saturday and Sunday, which is our biggest gates. So, yeah, we're a gate-driven league, and we wanted to play to that. And like I said, we've got, I think, the support in Central Alberta where we'll be able to pack the place even if it is a Monday and Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Listen to our fans a lot, and they've been asking for this game for a few years. And, we kept promising just let us get our feet underneath us. And, when we do something like this, we want to do it right.
I think I even may have put you on the spot in the hot stove a couple years
right.
ago asking, Okotoks always the host city for this All-Star break. When is it going to be Sylvan Lake's turn? And, well, it's, it takes time, and you guys have done a great job to obviously build this stadium, and it's a strikeout to Dom Justius. He looks at that one go by, and that will bring this inning to a close. Tie game, 3-3. We'll be back with Akil Samuel here in the top of the fifth when we come back. You're watching Gulls Baseball on FloCollege. A beautiful night here at the ballpark, and we get to take a look at the berm. And again, my crew here from Ontario, a couple doctors in the house. So if anything goes wrong, which we hope it doesn't, you got a couple doctors in the building.
You got some guys for us.
You got
guys
some doctors,
gals,
from
awesome.
two girls from Toronto, Ontario that are young, but they're doctors already and very good at what they do. Here in the top of the fifth inning, it is a tie game, 3-3 between the Dawgs and the Gulls. Akil Samuel, the president and COO of Sylvan Lake Gulls Baseball, joining me here in the broadcast booth of the Gulls Nest. Cale Clark with you as well. Great to have you watching on wherever you may be tuning in from. We're talking about the All-Star break next season. Sylvan Lake, the host town or city. Or is Sylvan Lake a city or are they a town?
I think we call ourselves a town.
Town?
Sure,
okay, we're still a town. Okay, well, I just want to make sure I'm not getting it wrong here. But, yeah, Sylvan Lake, the next host town in the WCBL for the All-Star break in 2027. This is Aiden Doherty to lead things off in the fifth inning, and it's 2-1 count to him. Now, we talk about, how Sylvan Lake does it every year with the theme nights. You guys do such a terrific job every single night. Well, of course, no theme night tonight, but maybe there's something that you can say with the theme nights being tied in with the All-Star break next year.
Yeah, that's a big part of who we are and our brand and our favorite one, I think, for most of our fans is that Hawaiian theme night. So we're going to try something similar for the All-Star game. We want to show the rest of the league kind of how we do things out here. And, the Hawaiian night and the beach theme and all the rest of that is what we do. So we want to show that off to Western Canada and the rest of the league. So.
I love that. That's going to be good. Hawaiian theme. Get your tickets when you can. Obviously, we just talked about that, and that'll be coming down the road. So stay tuned. Can people just, I guess, tune into Sylvan Lake Gulls socials for release dates and all that?
Absolutely. The release dates on tickets to the general public, and we're going to start with the season ticket holders in September, and then also release some of the details, who the guest speaker is, and the lineup for the softball game. Things of that nature, and I believe we got a fireworks show, and maybe don't quote me on that one, but yeah, I think we do. We've got a fireworks show happening that night as well. So,
awesome.
Yeah, a real showcase for the area.
Good ground play there. Jaden Flores fields it well and throws it in time for out number 1. That'll bring up Cal Gates, the number 3 hitter for the Okotoks Dawgs. And that pitch just missing low for a called ball. And, speaking of fireworks, there is a night coming up here in just a short amount of time that we'll be seeing fireworks here at Gulls Field, and I believe that is the Fan Appreciation Night.
Yeah, a Fan Appreciation Night on August 5th. I believe that's a Wednesday. It is, yep. That's a fan favorite, too. It's been a great success the last couple years, and we like to show off the fireworks show that we have, and, it should be a good one again this year. I think brought to you by Trail Tire and Red Deer, if I could sneak that in.
That is awesome, as this ball hit hard to Dom Juicy. Kind of did a little bit of running around out there. Wasn't sure where that ball was going to drop, but he found his traction and did a great job. He's looking at his cleats. I think he was kind of sliding around a little bit out there, spinning some tires, but he makes the catch nonetheless, and it's quickly 2 away on the Okotoks Dawgs. And, we talk about the fans and how great they are here in Sylvan Lake, obviously, and that's going to be Wednesday night, the fireworks show. But you also got a big night coming up to, show support for the Billets.
Billet night coming up on Monday, August 3rd. And, the Billets are a real lifeline for this franchise. To run a successful team in this league and in this kind of level, you need to have strong billet program. And shout out to Marnie McMahon, who's our billet coordinator, and her assistant, Carlin Byrne, who managed the billet program throughout the year. So we billet 36 kids in Sylvan Lake, and they're all in the kind of greater Sylvan area here. So
love it. Well, base hit, Jordan Keeman getting his first hit of the game. He's a dangerous hitter and for this Okotoks Dawgs team, and that ball getting past Eli Duncan. Thought he had it in the glove, but a pass ball will advance the runner into scoring position with 2 away. With Eric Matchey at the plate, who had a base hit his last at-bat. So we've been seeing a lot of this kind of similar baseball tonight for Sylvan Lake and for Okotoks. Both teams, they'll maybe defensively get the 2 outs right away, and then the rally kind of starts to come alive for both of these teams, and they seem to find ways to keep an inning going.
Great back and forth battle so far here for sure, with 3 lead changes already, so you knew it would be. Oh, no.
And another pass ball, that one skipping ahead of Duncan, and now they're only 90 feet away from regaining the lead here as Jordan Keeman is advanced. And when you get things like that, you can't give teams like this an opportunity.
No, isn't that the truth? And Bryson just pulled a couple there for sure, trying to maybe throw that breaking pitch too hard, but he'll get it.
And there's Seth Mahler warming up in the bullpen on your screen, and so that might have prompted a little bit of urgency in the bullpen for Sylvan Lake.
Yeah, Seth had a nice outing here last time we were home.
Yeah, he has. He's been a great pitcher for the Sylvan Lake Gulls team, and this ball is dropping quickly. Collins, though, he's got the wheels to get there in time for out number 3 to relieve any pressure that the Dawgs were putting on. Gulls coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back with the Keel for one last inning before we let him get back to his night. We'll be back. Gulls baseball right here on FloCollege. New pitcher on the mound as we see our first pitching change of the evening. This is an affiliate player that they're bringing in here tonight. Xander Guedes getting the call in this game, and now you're going to start to see that revolving door kind of open up for the Okotoks Dawgs as they like to throw an arm an inning basically probably from here on out. Last night they didn't. They only saw 2 pitchers come in, but it's because the pitchers were lights out, and credited them a nice 12-1 victory over the Sylvan Gulls last night, who were looking for some revenge here tonight. Bottom of the 5th inning, and Brody Forno now out of the game, but my goodness, he had a terrific game here tonight. Good start.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how these guys manage the pitching down the stretch here, right? So we got to get it's a long stretch, and with all the rainouts in June, it's been a heavy schedule for a lot of teams, including Okotoks and us.
Absolutely. Forno with 67 pitches. Pretty good night of work for him. 4 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. So not bad. I mean, he's definitely put up better numbers than that, but still gave the Dawgs a pretty good job. And you knew the Gulls offense were going to kind of come back after last night's little bit of a lull. They're going to be ready to go here tonight, so not an easy task for any pitcher by any means, as Jaden Flores lifts this to center field, and a routine play for Aiden Kraus to make the catch for out number 1 in this inning. Well, Akil, you're here tonight taking in the ball game, but so is your partner, and she is celebrating a nice birthday. Christine celebrating a birthday tonight, and so you guys out having some fun tonight, celebrating a little bit?
No, I'm working.
You're working, she's celebrating, right?
It's actually her birthday tomorrow, so we got tickets to the Pink Floyd experience at the TELUS Park Center in Calgary. So Christine's a big Pink Floyd fan, so yeah, we're gonna go down there and just have a night away.
Good.
And enjoy that. Should be good.
Good for you guys. I mean,
so happy birthday, Chris.
Yes, happy birthday to you, and I hope you guys have a great time and a great weekend, as it's a weekend that the Gulls are on the road in Lethbridge, so that gives you guys an opportunity to take a little bit of a break, because you have been just busy all summer long. It's been a wild summer. I mean, it's crazy to think we're already at the end. Isn't it just as president
nuts.
and COO of a company like this, it just flies by. You know, the start of the season, you count down the days for that first pitch to the first game, and then next thing you know, you blink and it's almost over.
You know, we have 6-7 employees that are 12-month-a-year employees, and we work pretty hard in the wintertime, you know, for 8 months for this 4-month sprint we have in the summer, and, you know, mixing a summer send-off into that. It's pretty good, though. You know, where else would you rather be? So it's fun putting this out there. But, yeah, it's nice to take a night off every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Summer's always better at the ballpark, and that is the saying as they go all season long for the WCBL. That's kind of their motto, and their theme this year is summer is always better at the ballpark, and it really has been. Luckily, now that the rain clouds have stayed away for the month of July, we've gotten a nice July at least out of it.
So I had the first 5 years, I had 5 home reschedules total. This year I had 4. Like, that's just the home ones, right?
Yeah, wow.
So, yeah, it's definitely a bit of a stress on the schedule. And, you know, we actually had a Tuesday 2 o'clock doubleheader with 2 different teams in here, but that's the nature of the beast this year.
That is. I mean, it could be worse. You look at Energy City or any of those teams, and they're playing a lot more makeup games than they probably want to as the season rolls on. But there's a strikeout to Michael Quick. The first strikeout for this new pitcher in Xander Guedes, who comes in and shows his arm pretty early. Yeah. Right-handed pitcher, and just like that, 2 up, 2 down.
91-mile-an-hour fastball. It's got a little nice run on it, too.
Yeah, it sure does. Elijah Hamill now will step in, and he's a dangerous guy to face in the box with a solo homer already here tonight. I mean, Elijah Hamill just continues to be one of those consistent hot bats coming to the plate every single night.
Elijah can play, that's for sure.
Fun to watch. Jamie Campbell has definitely taken note on his hometown product in Oakville, Ontario.
Yeah, good kid too. Good, really good kid. Smart hitter. You watch his at-bats, man. He doesn't let too many things bother him or too many things go.
And we were talking about it. A unique guy too to have a resume when he comes in. He's kind of a little bit of a celebrity before coming into being a baseball star here in Sylvan Lake, being a guy that is a voiceover on Paw Patrol, and Joe kind of introduced him in one of his at-bats already here tonight, that he's the Paw Patrol voice of Ryder, I believe it was. So pretty cool that, you know, he also has had a little bit of an experience in some voice acting back in his day.
Paw Patrol was after my son's time, so I don't know too much
That's fair.
about it. But
that's fair.
I hear some of these younger kids I guess they're young adults now that grew up on it.
That's wild.
Yeah, pretty impressed.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really say if we've really had anybody be a player for the Sylvan Lake Gulls that had something kind of like that coming into a season. I'm trying to think of one. I know that we did have a pitcher that played for the Savannah Bananas, and that was kind of a cool story as well.
That was, absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of always cool to see the background on these guys.
I'm balking on the name.
Oh,
Tavares?
Yes,
yeah.
Leroy Tavares.
Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy Tavares. And he was always a good,
fun guy to be around.
Yeah, very outgoing, of course, and a character in the room. So an even count to Elijah Hamill with 2 away here quickly in the bottom half of the 5th inning. It has been a close game between the Okotoks Dawgs and the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Again, here with President and COO Akil Samuel of the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And a little bit of a lazy defensive swing there by Hamill, trying to stay alive, does not make any contact. Good pitch there by the newcomer, Xander Guedes, and that will do it. Well, Akil, we'll let you get back to the night and work in. Thank you so much for joining us here on the broadcast, and we wish you nothing but success moving forward, and we'll see you hopefully in the late stages of the regular season and, of course, playoff ball.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, and everybody listening out there, thanks for being a Gulls fan.
Akil Samuel, President.
It's time for everyone's ballpark favorite. It's time.
Well, Bryson Leach is still on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. He's the starter for your Gulls as well. He's got 5 full innings of work. He's given up 8 hits and a number of strikeouts. We don't have our strikeout count. Our K-man is not here tonight, so I'm so used to relying on them looking over at the fence, but I guess I'm going to have to rely on my own score sheet here. But he does have a strikeout already tonight, and it looks like he's got 2 in his name. And he's going to face Nash Kroll for the 3rd time of the night. Kroll 0 for 2, flew out to center and struck out back in the 2nd. And he's quickly up 0-2 on Kroll. Again, I want to thank Akil Samuel for taking time out of his night to come chat with us, who's one of the busiest and hardest working guys here at the ballpark. chatting with us a little bit about what's to come for Sylvan Lake next year in the 2027 All-Star Break. Can't wait to get it going. Again, you can keep your eyes on Sylvan Lake Gulls social medias for the upcoming announcements and when you can get your tickets and all that fun stuff. And he's got a lot of things in the works by the sounds of it for what that All-Star Break's going to look like here in Sylvan Lake. Looking like they're going to do a little celebrity slow pitch game to kind of kickstart the event, and then some kind of special guest speakers coming in. I'm excited. Should be fun. Just like this game has been fun. It has been close. Both teams in the West, the top two teams in the West, duking it out here on a Friday night. And a swing and a miss on Kroll for his second strikeout of the night. Make that 3 Ks on the night, though, for Bryson Leach, as he's had his number. So that'll bring up Jaden Lusk, and that's baseball, isn't it? You go from one night where you're just red hot, could not be denied at the plate, 8 RBIs in one game, to 0 for 3. Ball hit on the ground, a hopper right to Flores, and a scoop made at first by Coleman Perry as that lands in the turf. One hop off the glove. Here's a 2-hopper right to Flores. And then the arm with, yeah, that's a tough scoop made for Coleman Perry, but he makes it. And he makes those look easy. Those don't get by him very often. So a good play there. And quickly 2 down, just like we've seen a lot in this game. Quickly 2 up, 2 down, but then the Dogs find ways to keep the inning alive. And here's Stetcher, who will swing on it. Maybe this won't be the case for this inning, as John Boy Rittenhouse settles underneath of it in foul territory, and a quick 3 up, 3 down inning. Leach has now had 85 pitches in this game. We'll see if he comes out for another inning. The Gulls hit the bats in the bottom of the 6th when we come back. Xander Geddes in for his second inning of work since coming in relief for Brody Forno, who had 4 innings of work, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks in 67 pitches. Xander Geddes has had 15 pitches, 2 strikeouts in his first inning, and no hits have given up yet. Don't know where this kid's from, as he was an affiliate called up maybe last minute, not even on our rosters here at Gulls Field, so I'm assuming he's from somewhere south, just going off of the name. But he's been pretty solid. Maybe some maybe one of those hidden weapons that the Okotoks Dawgs are bringing in for the postseason. He's looking pretty solid so far. He's got John Boy Rittenhouse leading things off here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Charlie Collins and then Coleman Perry. Rittenhouse 0 for 2 on the night. And he's got him frozen up high inside, making him swing around on it. Great pitch. 2-2. Let's take a look at this again. And yeah, John Boy Rittenhouse knew it all the way. And a looking strikeout for Xander Guedes, and he knew it right away. So did the catcher, Jaden Lusk. John Boy thought maybe he had a chance, but good start, and that's back-to-back-to-back strikeouts for Xander Guedes. He has an arm. Gulls might be running into something here. They ran into 2 hot pitchers last night, but then I might have spoke too soon. Guedes beams Charlie Collins up high to get a runner on. Watch this come in slow motion and out straight off the arm. So Coleman Perry with a runner on. He's also 0 for 2.
The first baseman, number 30, Coleman Perry.
Coleman Perry now looking to keep things going in the right direction now with a runner on. And Xander Guedes now maybe slipping a little bit with 2 straight pitches in the ball territory. Heard from Akil Samuel just moments ago, and obviously very happy with the crowd attendance here tonight against the Dawgs on a Friday night of a long weekend. Just makes up for, you know, an expected great crowd. And of course, everybody loves to watch when Okotoks comes to town, the #1 team in the WCBL, and they have been for years. A team that the Sylvan Lake Gulls have played now 4 straight years in the West Division Final. Will we see it again this year? Sylvan Lake, of course, the team that finally got past the Dawgs in the West Final last year for the first time, but the Dawgs have always had Sylvan Lake's number, and they do again this year. Out of 8 games that are going to be played, they're leading the season series 4-2. Gulls win this one, then makes it interesting going into that final game on Monday, Holiday Monday, right back here at Gulls Field between these 2 teams. And Coleman Perry just gets caught looking. That's 4 strikeouts already for Xander Guedes. Affiliate that comes in, and they're like, who is this kid? Well, he's sure making the name for himself quickly. Wow. We're going to have to look him up here in just a matter of time. See where he came from, because he is throwing tonight. And I even tried to look him up on Baseball Reference, and he's not coming up. So the question continues, I guess, for this youngster. The affiliate coming in. I'm going to have to do some research. Maybe go talk to the coaching staff of Okotoks and be like, where did you get this guy? But the Dawgs would be happy to get him to go far in this game, giving their team a chance. Eli Duncan, 1 for 2 on the night with an RBI single. And he's got the stuff working for him. Sylvan Lake they're fooled right now with the bats. The only way they got a runner on was because he got hit by the pitch? Runner on, Charlie Collins trying to go for a stolen base, and he'll hold on for a stolen base. That's what Collins does. He keeps moving along, and he is one of the top leaders in stolen bases in the league. Make that 20 stolen bases. And Eli Duncan hits it deep in the hole, and that will land for a base hit. Collins thought about going, but he stayed at second. So the 2-out rally, like we talked about all night long, continues. Okay, so we got some word. Thanks, great research. My producer is incredible. Calvin Bellows of Green Onion Media helping me out here tonight as I'm on my own in the broadcast booth. So getting a little bit of research from Xander Guedes. He is from he went to school at Say Cove, British Columbia. So he's a Canadian product, and he's 19 years old. And he's committed to the Portland Pirates baseball team. Wow, okay. So the 19-year-old from BC, I stand corrected. He's not from down south. He's from Canada. In fact, he's from West Canada, Say Cove. And he's from North Vancouver, according to my producer in the truck. So thanks, guys. Great to know. The Vancouver, British Columbia kid's got an arm in him. Gotta love that he's a Canadian product. Could be playing in maybe next year's All-Star break if he continues to throw like he is now to represent Team Canada. Maddox Shaver at the plate. 2 down, runner in scoring position. Takes that one on the corner. 1-1. It's a lot. Again, goes to show some great ball players that have been coming out of Canada and this league. And he's a youngster, just 19 years old. And he's up in the count on Shaver, 1-2. And again, my producer just in my ear saying that his maxed fastball is in the 90-mile-per-hour range. And he's got a 76 to 79 slider on him and a 78 curve. Those are some pitches. Comes in with a fastball. This hit pretty high fly ball, deep center field, but it's going to be caught by Aiden Krause. So the Gulls try to put a little bit of a 2-out rally together. However, they come up short, stranding 2 base runners on. Good pitching by Xander Guedes from North Vancouver, BC. The Dawgs will come swinging the bats in the top half of the 7th when we come back. A little bit of a surprise. Bryson Leach still on the mound as his pitch count getting up there. 85 pitches, 6 innings of work he has had already. He's got a few Ks. Yeah, he's done a very good job for the Okotoks Dawgs. But Seth Mahler continues to warm up in the bullpen. I'm wondering if Bryson Leach maybe getting at least 1 or 2 more batters. If he can get a quick inning here, maybe this will be he'll get a full inning in. We'll see. But Aiden Krause at the plate. He has gone 2 for 2 on the night. He's definitely been a player to watch for in this ball game. Leach with 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, and make that 9 hits on the night. He's got 3 strikeouts, too. But it's been a hard night to go against Aiden Krause, who's had his number 3 for 3 at the plate, and a runner on to lead things off here in the 7th inning. So will Leach's night be coming to a close sooner than later? We'll see. I'm thinking it might be right now as Matt Hape comes out of the dugout. And he turns to the bullpen, and that will be it. They tried to give Leach one more chance to maybe make a quick inning of work, but he had a great night of work at that. A good start he has given his team. It's a tie 3-3 ball game between the Gulls and the Dawgs, and he'll come out to a nice ovation from the crowd. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more Gulls baseball. Well, Seth Mahler comes into this ball game in relief for a good start from Bryson Leach to kind of pick up from where he left off. It is a tie game, 3-3. Mahler looking to secure another win for the Sylvan Gulls. He's got a 4-1 win-loss record, 2 saves, 2.41 ERA, and 29 strikeouts in his name this year. And you could tell there's a lot riding on his arm right now, and of course he knows it. You can see the deep breaths that he's taken in a big moment, big game like this. Runner over at first. And Ricardo Sanchez, top of the order. We go, 0-1. And he's going to just check down. Of course, Krause trying to get in his head a little bit, making some moves. We got ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen, heading into the last 3 innings of play in this, what has been a great ball game in Sylvan Lake. And it's all mind games kind of moving on from here on out. As you got Sanchez, not afraid to call times, trying to get the pitcher off his game. You got Aiden Krause over at first, trying to kind of makes some moves, and noises over at first, pretend like he's going to steal. And of course, that's working because Mahler's keeping him close by. The Dawgs know how to play ball. they know how to get into the heads of their opponents. Anything and everything they can do to win a game, and playoffs gets even a little bit more like that. They get a little bit more kind of gritty, if you will. And Jim Claggett, when he was on the broadcast about a week ago, was asking me, is the Sylvan Lake Gulls team have that kind of grittiness to them? And well, maybe not as much as we have seen in past years. But come time when you need to be, they will be, I'm sure. Mahler up in the count 0-2 on Ricardo Sanchez. Very worried, obviously, over at first with Aiden Krause. That ball fouled off. So there's Aiden Krause having some words with Joe Sargent at first base. Coleman Perry there as well. Good angle there from the dugout camera that we have, that we recently installed, and it is something to have here at Gulls Field. Mahler just throwing off speed there to try to get Sanchez to chase after. Unfortunately, he's going to need to be a little closer than that to have Sanchez even thinking about swinging. Ball hit well, right field. Charlie Collins, though, will get there, make the catch. A little bit of a jumping catch at the end there to make sure. So it was a line drive by Ricardo Sanchez, but it's a good grab there on the right fielder for the first out. And you take a look at it here, and right at the end, Collins kind of had to go up a little bit for that one. So that ball just kept carrying. So a great grab from him, the man from Melbourne, Australia. And that'll bring up Aiden Doherty, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a double. Great off speed there. That ball hit foul. Oh, that was close. Aiden Doherty just kind of held back that swing at the very end and fouled it off. Just wide of the first base line. Oh, and 2. And this time, Krause had to make a slide back to first as he was maybe kind of getting a little close to taking a base. And there's a reason why they keep him close over at first, because he's among the top leaders in the league for stolen base. Behind Cal Gates, of course. He's got 20 stolen bases this year. Obviously, Thomas Soto hitting the new record at 46, the league record, setting it. That's crazy that he doubled what these guys are doing. And we know how fast these guys are, too. Krause has already got a couple stolen bases in this game. In fact, he actually might have jumped his teammate or I shouldn't say teammate, Regina, Lance Anderson. He's got 2 stolen bases tonight, so he's at 22 stolen bases on the year. And this ball hit softly on the ground. It's going to stay fair, and it's going to be an out. Eli Duncan thought about making the play to second for potentially a double play, but you got the speedy wheels of Aiden Krause, and it was a good decision to hold off from throwing at second. You look at it here. He thinks about going to second, but nobody, I think, well, the reason why is Maddox Shaver or Jaden Flores were even at second base ready for that throw. So Good play there by Duncan. Instead of throwing it and trying to force it, just takes the one out. So Cal Gates, 0 for 3 on the night. 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. Kraus has already come around to score once. Be interesting to see what Sylvan Lake does moving forward with the bullpen. Of course, he got a big, big weekend coming up down in Lethbridge to take on the Bulls. This ball hit right up the middle. Flores waiting for it as it hops, and it goes right to Coleman Perry's glove for out number 3. So the Gulls do give up the one base hit, but nothing else to show for it. They put up a goose egg for the Dawgs. They come to the bats. It is the 7th inning stretch next. New pitcher on the mound, the 3rd pitcher coming into the game for the Okotoks Dawgs. They're already past what they did last night for as far as sending pitchers to the mound, and this is Wyatt Sadlier, who has 23 innings of work, 3.91 ERA, 28 strikeouts, 17 hits, and a 1-0 win-loss record. He's going to face the Juice Man in Dom Giusti. Round out the batting order to start things off, and he did not go around, so first pitch in for a ball. Now, I got to give credit to Xander Guedes, who's the affiliate pitcher coming in. He did a great job for Okotoks, absolutely silencing this offense with, well, let's just say he had 4 strikeouts. Not a lot of batters that he had to face either. Did the job. And it's been kind of quiet. Offensively, things started off great for both teams. And then ever since the 4th inning, it has been quiet. Ooh, and that goes inside, just missing Giusti. Sadler has his hat fall off his head as he threw that one hard. 90 miles per hour. That would have hurt if that caught him. Look at this. Ooh, yeah. Even the guys from the dugout behind were like, oh, that was close. 3-0 to Juicy. He's going to be taken away on this one. And it's a walk, a leading walk. There you go. Dom Juicy, the second walk of the game. And that is how you lead things off in an inning. That'll go to the top of the batting order now. Jaden Flores, Michael Quick, and Elijah Hamill. Some dangerous hitters coming to the plate for Sylvan Lake. And that's inside. Wyatt Sadler, I want to say he was here when these two teams last played against each other. And I'm going to confirm that here in just a moment, as we get a meeting on the mound, so that'll give me a little bit of time. And we did see Wyatt Sadler last time these two teams played at Gulls Field. The Gulls won that night against the Dawgs 8-3. Sadler had a third of an inning of work. He gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks. So he struggled when he was last here too. So we'll see if his leash is short or if he can settle into this game as warm-ups continue in the Okotoks Dawgs bullpen. They'll be busy. And it looks like 14's warming up for them. Dalton Hoffert might be coming to this ball game, and he also came in that game last time these two teams played at Gulls Field as well. Fans starting to come alive here, looking for some offense. Some more runs. They would love to see it here as Dom Juicy over at first. Jaden Flores at the plate, and that hits him. Ouch! Right off the hand. Flores shaking it off. Look at this. Ooh, that does not look like it feels good. Oh, it's actually an elbow. Went right off the guard. Shaking it off. That hit the funny bone. And that's obviously going to feel a little numb. And so now we got more warm-ups going on. And this is just an infield meeting. No coach is required to allow some time for the bullpen to get loose. And now it's number 32 that they're getting loose. And guess what? Another guy that is not currently on their roster, but on their lineup card, does also not come up on the lineup card. So we don't know who that is. Maybe another affiliate coming in, potentially. Michael Quick at the plate, runner in scoring position. 1 for 3 on the night, RBI already. Michael Quick likes these situations. He's a guy that can kind of get things going when they need it. And that comes in for a strike. One to Quick. Fans are kind of getting involved here. Now he's squaring a bunt, and he lets it go by for a called strike. And the fans are giving it to Chipley, and he looks over at him. 1-2. A little bit of saucy going on here, some spice. Things getting a little testy down at field level, and the crowd's getting involved. 1-2. Quick pops it straight in the air. This is going to be playable. Third baseman comes in and makes the catch. That's Eric Matchey making the first out of the game, out of the inning, sorry. All right, well, that brings up a hot bat in Elijah Hamill. And that will probably be the night now. And it will be for Wyatt Sadlier. So our last communication, we think this could be Wyatt Kallio. And we will step aside. We'll be back with more Gulls baseball right here next. Well, we finally found out who this is, and the reason being that we're struggling because the Okotoks Dawgs lineup card does not have a 32. They have this guy on there, but he's not listed as number 25, Reed Madriaga. Sorry. I'm going to make sure I say his name right first. Maybe that might help. And so Reed Madriaga comes in with a heavy hitter at the plate, and Elijah Hamill, runners at second and first. Dom Giusti at second, and you have Flores over at first. Michael Quick just popped up for the first out. And that's down and inside for another ball. 2-0. John Boy Rittenhouse is on deck right now. And he pops it straight in the air, frustrated, of course. Easy out for the Dawgs. So that'll bring up a guy that loves clutch and crazy situations, John Boy Rittenhouse. He's 0 for 3, so he's due. And we'll see what he has in store. And Reed, the pitcher, Reed Madriaga pitches. For Seattle U, he pitches for Seattle U. And he's from Miliani, Hawaii. So speaking of Hawaiian theme, that the All-Star break is going to be here in Sylvan Lake next year. That would make it feel like home for him, I would think. John Boy Rittenhouse quickly up in this count now. 2-0. Trying to keep the inning alive. 2-out rally. Can we see it again? Rittenhouse, line drive up the middle, and we will see it again. And we will see another RBI coming to score thanks to the number 7. John Boy Rittenhouse does what he does best. Gulls regain the lead. Just when you think he got his number tonight, just when you think, yeah, he's been quiet, he finds a way to come alive and make some noise when it matters the most. He is the definition of coming in clutch when you need him. So that'll bring up Charlie Collins, who's had a pretty solid night. He's got a base hit, got on base, stole a base. It's 1 for 2 on the night. Oh, 2. 2 down. Collins fights that off to foul it back. Off speed up high as Collins takes that all the way. 1-2. Gulls just recently regained a lead bottom half of the 7th inning thanks to the bat of John Boy Rittenhouse, now leading 4-3 with 2 down here in the 7th. Even count. Collins has been a busy guy this game. The ball has been hit his way a few times. He's had to make some good catches, and then of course he's got a base hit, stolen base. And he's worked this count back to full after being down 0-2. Good at bat here by Collins, not making it easy on Reed Madariaga. Three-two pitch, everybody on the run, and it's a strikeout. Painting the outside corner on Jeff Shipley with the call. Let's take a look here. Close, but it doesn't matter. The Gulls do regain the lead after going 4 straight innings silent. They find a way to score a run. It's 4-3 heading into the 8th. Top of the 8th inning. Dawgs now down again by 1. Jordan Keeveman with an RBI and a base hit. He's gone 1 for 3 on the night. Good pitch there by Mahler. 1-1. Well, it's been an absolute battle here between the two top teams in the West Division, of course. What else do you expect in the Western Canadian Baseball League when these two teams get together? Of course, last night, that's the thing with this league, and the thing between these two teams is that there's nights where their games are close, and then there's nights where it can kind of be a little bit of a walkaway. And last night we saw that. Okotoks ran that game 12-1 at home. And a great pitch there by Mahler on the outside, 2-2. And then you throw a couple good pitchers into a game, and it makes it a lot tighter, of course. And both sides kind of threw their top pitchers into the ball game with Brody Forno starting, and then, of course, Bryson Leach. And that just misses. That was close. I thought that had it. We've been seeing those be called before. Full count to Keevan. And Mahler had the off speed there. Keevan just caught a piece of it to stay alive. Mahler's got the pitches. Warm up in the bullpen still happening though. Braden Stewart is getting that hot arm loose. See what he can do. Obviously want to see if Mahler can get an inning out, and then maybe Stewart comes in for the 9th. Good at bat though, Jordan Keevan, the DH. That's why he is the DH. It's his job, and he has been a tough out. Mahler with the full count delivery. And it's hit on the ground. John Boy Rittenhouse will get onto it and get the throw in time. Seth Mahler says, thanks, buddy. Soft hit dribbler right over to John Boy. Makes the grab, makes the throw. Eric Matchey now at the plate. 1 for 3. Ball hit well, deep center field, and Dom Giusti with the line drive right into his glove. He's ready for it. There's 2 down. It's a hard hit ball. Dom Giusti takes several steps to his left, and then he makes the catch. And we'll get a meeting on the mound here for Matt Haight with a Nash Kroll coming to the plate, and he's going to have to face a hot arm in Braden Stewart as Mahler. This night comes to a close. He does the job, though. Great relief for him. And, of course, he's going to feel good about that. Now he's saying, all right, Stu, man, it's up to you. And in comes Braden Stewart. We'll be back with more of this inning when we come back. here is the hot arm that we have seen all season long from Warsaw, Kentucky. Number 25, Braden Stewart. Looking to come in and close this game. Nash Kroll has not had a night like he did last night. He's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. And he's facing the strikeout king for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who has a lot of them, 54 to be exact. And what does he do? Starts it with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball inside. He's among the top strikeout leaders in this league. That just missing. Let's take a look at how many strikeouts other guys have. Obviously, Brody Forno just behind him in the count at 50 before tonight. But it's hard to catch Weston Walls in this league when he's got 84 strikeouts for Moose Jaw. That is absolutely insane, considering if anybody's been watching what Braden Stewart has done this year, you'd think that's got to be up there, and it is. But Nash Kroll just fouling that off to stay alive here. And Kroll's having a little bit of a smile on his face because he knows what he's facing right now. Gulls not being nice and easy to Okotoks. They want this win badly to give themselves still a chance at tying for first place in the West. Now, there's a lot of work to be done. They got another meeting against Okotoks on Monday. They basically have to win outright from here on out and hope Okotoks takes a couple losses to maybe Energy City or somebody else to finish out this rest of the regular season, as it is going to take a little bit of help from the opposing teams as well. Stewart has one hit on him, and there will break the goose egg for Nash Kroll tonight, getting his first base hit of the game against one of the top pitchers for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Oh, did I mention 2 outs? Yeah, that's probably why this inning's continuing. That's just what the Dawgs do. They don't go down. Don't go down easy into the night. Jaden Lusk, 1 for 3. We'll see Braden Stewart for the first time. Broken bat comes right up the middle. Flores fields it and will get it over in time. That's how hard those pitches come down at you. It'll absolutely shatter your bat. And that's exactly what happened on Jaden Lusk. Unfortunate break for him, but the Gulls will come to the plate in the bottom of the 8th. Well, we saw the familiar face who's been here for a week now, Matty Fung, taking in some baseball, having a little bit of a holiday, and having some fun with the Batgirl, who is his billet sister, the Sinclairs, and that is the Batgirl of tonight as well. So Matty Fung having some fun with his billet sister and enjoying some baseball back at Gulls Field, being a spectator, watching on, getting some action and getting some good views from the dugout down in Sylvan Lake. So we'll see the Gulls now come to the plate to try to add some insurance to their one-run lead. Coleman Perry will lead things off with Eli Duncan and Maddox Shaver, the scheduled hitters, to come to the plate. Perry fouls that off. Quickly down on the count, 0-2.
The foul balls here at Gulls Field, as always, are brought to you by Clearview Glass.
And a strikeout to Perry. Great pitch there by Reed Madriaga. We'll see his second inning of work. Usually Okotoks kind of throw a pitcher an inning, but Madriaga getting some extra time on the mound. That'll bring up Eli Duncan.
The catcher, number 5, Eli Duncan.
And Madriaga is just wheeling and dealing right now with the pitches. That is quite a few strikes in a row now. 0-1. And he comes in with the off speed that just misses. Thought he had him. He doesn't waste any time with the delivery, that's for sure. And Duncan turns on it, but it's going to go foul. Just a little too much. Now pitch up high inside. And they check down to first for the appeal to see if he went around, and he did not go around. That's Brad Johnston down at first. So it's a full count here to Eli Duncan, who has gone 2 for 3. He's got an RBI. He's had a pretty good night at the plate. And he strikes out here. So Maddox Shaver comes to the plate. Shaver's 0 for 2 on the night. And 1-1 to Maddox Shaver. Two and 1. Shaver will foul that back, even in the count, 2-2. Gulls lead the Dawgs 4-3, bottom half of 8, 2 down. Dawgs just looking to keep the Gulls at bay and only be down by 1 going to the 9th inning to make them have a chance at getting back into this game. That's inside, 3-1. Now it's full. It's fouled back by Maddox Shaver. Back-to-back strikeouts for this young man. And make that 3 straight. He strikes out the side. What a good pitch there by Reed Madriaga. 4 straight strikeouts. Strikes out the side here. Dawgs coming to bat. Top of 9, down 1. Braden Stewart looking to close out this ball game with a 1-run lead heading into the 9th inning, and he's going to kind of face some batters that have had some luck tonight, and it's going to start with a pinch hitter. Number 23 coming in for the Dawgs, who we'll see for the first time tonight, as the Dawgs looking for anything and everything at this point. There's Jacob Rubleski, and he is a dangerous hitter, of course, as you know, for the Okotoks Dawgs. We look at Rubleski's numbers coming in, 326, 27 RBIs, 8 homers, and 30 hits. And talk about hits, he gets hit there by Braden Stewart on the 92-mile-per-hour fastball. That's got to sting. So the tie and run is now on base, just like that. First pitch, look at this. Oh, right off the elbow. You could hear it from up here. And he's going to go off, and a runner's going to come on now, and that is going to be Bryant Starr as a pinch runner. So Aiden Krause has been perfect tonight. 3 for 3 and a runner at first to potentially get themselves back into this game, to keep this game alive, keep it going, and try to tie things up yet again.
Now batting for Okotoks, the center fielder, number 5, Aiden Krause.
Aiden Krause, 3 for 3 with a base hit, RBI as well, stolen bases, couple stolen base. Yeah, he's been very good tonight. If I was to pick a player of the game for Okotoks, it would be this guy right here. Either him or some of the pitching staff, and either Reed Madriaga or Xander Goedes, who have been just absolutely dynamite for the Dawgs coming into this game to help shut the door on the Sylvan Lake Gulls. It's been a low-scoring affair. 1-1. Ball swung on foul. Just over the Dawgs bullpen. You see them there still hanging out, staying close. David Robb obviously standing by to see if he needs to send another pitcher to get ready for inning number 9. But if they, if they could force the bottom of the 9th inning, I think they would still keep Reed Madriaga in this game. He has been lights out. 1-2 though to Aiden Krause. That up high, 2-2. And a strikeout to the guy that's been perfect all night. Finally gets sat down with a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Up high, that was beautiful. So in comes Ricardo Sanchez, 1 for 3.
Now batting the shortstop, number 8, Ricardo Sanchez.
Fouled off. Sanchez hitting .280 coming into tonight. 33 RBIs, 2 homers. He's a guy that can do some damage. He's a veteran. Ball swung on, and it's going to go fair and hit right into the hole. Tie and run now at third. Just like that, Dawgs do what they do best. They battle. And a timely hit there by Ricky Sanchez has just made this ball game interesting. Runners on the corner. Braden Stewart facing a little bit of pressure now. Aiden Doherty stepping in. Dawgs are on the doorstep to making this game an even game and carrying through to the bottom of the 9th. One more base hit, and it is a tie game. And that check swing goes off the bat and foul. So that'll work. If you can't beat him in the zone, why not just throw it at his bat anyways? We've seen Braden Stewart on a lot of this season. Hasn't been many nights where he's been off, but there have been. And there have been teams that have been able to figure him out and figure out his fastball. And I think maybe when you're playing a good team like this, as this ball is hit into right field, Collins will grab it. The throw coming in. It's a long throw, and they got him! Are you kidding me? This game is over! Charlie Collins with the throw. Wow. Gulls win. Oh my. That was an absolute dart. And Charlie Collins is eating it up right now. The deepest throw we have seen at this ballpark ever. And he just throws it on an absolute wire. And it's in time. Absolute great stuff. The Gulls sit down the Dawgs, 4-3 victory. Oh my goodness. That is one of the top plays of the season to end a ball game that we have ever seen, especially at Gulls Field, maybe in even the history of the 6 years of this team being a franchise. Look at that throw. And Eli Duncan with the tag out as well. That was a great catch, of course, by Eli Duncan to make the tag out at home. I mean, that was not an easy play, and the Gulls executed it perfectly. Let's go down to field level with our player of the game, brought to you by EG Auctions.
Just before you go, and before we get to our post-game show on the air, I'd like to introduce you to our player of the game. Behind home plate right now, please say hello to the catcher, number 5, Eli Duncan. That's an exciting way to end a ball game and a great way to win one. How did that feel to you guys?
Yes, sir. That was awesome and great way to win a game, and always good to get a win at home.
Eli, you've learned a lot about the WCBL, obviously the Sylvan Lake Gulls, these incredible fans, but you've also learned about this rivalry. Last night didn't go your way in Okotoks. How important was it to turn that around and get a win for this home team?
Yeah, it's always good to bounce back after a game like that. And it doesn't matter who we're playing, we always want to bounce back after a game like that.
There's 2 important games this weekend as well against the Lethbridge Bulls. You guys are on the bus and on the road for a pair in Lethbridge. How important is it to celebrate, enjoy, but turn it around and get ready for Lethbridge this weekend?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, coming down the stretch, every game is important. So just go out and do what we can to win 2 more.
And finally, I want to ask you about this crowd. They've come from all over. I've met people from British Columbia and Saskatchewan, from south of the border. There's a lot of people here to watch Gulls baseball and party after a win. How about this fan base in Sylvan Lake?
Oh, it's electric. I mean, great crowd tonight, one of the best crowds of the year, and it's always fun having a good, nice, full Gulls field.
Congratulations on Player of the Game, presented by EG Auctions. This is Eli Duncan, everybody. Way to go. Attaboy.
Eli Duncan with one of the biggest plays at the end of the game. I mean, it's one thing to get the throw there, obviously, from Charlie Collins, but it's the other to stay close to home plate, wait for that ball to come to you, make the catch, and then make the tag out at home for the final play of the game. Absolutely sensational game for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and talk about a bounce back at that as well, as they get their victory over the Okotoks Dawgs, the redemption. Now sit 3 games back of the Dawgs, heading into the final 5 games of this regular season. They'll have another matchup with the Dawgs on Monday, but a very important road trip, of course, to take care of business against the Lethbridge Bulls this weekend, as the Sylvan Lake Gulls finally find a way to crack the Dawgs again. And now they're 5-6 in this season series. That's going to be an incredible finish, or sorry, I should say 3-4 in the season series. I'm getting ahead of myself here. That's going to carry out the rest of this regular season in an 8-game series against the Okotoks Dawgs. But what a game and what a finish for the Sylvan Lake Gulls to get back in the win column, as we get to look at the kids running down the bases right now. Everybody's having a fun time here at the ballpark. Even my friends were taking a little bit of it in as well, and it's all smiles because the Sylvan Lake Gulls, they just kind of had to reset and kind of get ready for another big game here at home, and they did just that. They got the start from Elijah Hamill. Great catch from Dom Juicy moments earlier. Then the throw from Eli Duncan behind the plate, catching the runners, and then Duncan comes back with the bat as well, and he does what he does best. How about the hot dog eating contest? This was the closest we've ever seen a hot dog eating contest, especially when you got Reese Sherman in there as well. Akil Samuel comes in, talks to us a little bit about the All-Star break next year. There's a lot of hit batsmen, some big noises being made by the crowd and the bats. And how about it? The Sylvan Lake Gulls get their revenge on the Okotoks Dawgs, 4-3 on this Friday night, a long weekend. We'll be back with more Gulls baseball here at Gulls Field on Monday night. For Calvin Bellows at Green Onion Media, I'm Cale Clark with another Bird's Eye View.